Hi, I'm Mel.
I'm Bruce.
And we're Brooklyn Italians Talk Movies. Today we're going to be talking about the movie Creed. I'm very excited, as usual.
Yeah.
The movie today is kind of a spin-off, actually, of the Rocky movies. We grew up with Rocky, 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6.
You never get tired of a Rocky movie. You never get tired of Sylvester Stallone. I remember the first Rocky movie. I was a teenager. We were in the theater, and me and my friends, we were just so excited. We were actually cheering and yelling Rocky during the whole fight.
Yeah, everybody.
And you really got into it. And everybody had a poster of Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, I saw it in a theater in Queens, and I remember waiting online to get in. And while I was waiting online to get in, the last showing was coming out. And you see all the guys, everybody's coming out, hey, Rocky, Rocky, and I'm saying,
and all the girls are coming out and loving it, right?
Are you crazy or what? Then on the way out, I'm going, hey, Rocky, oh, Rocky.
It was great. It was great. It was something that's part of your memory, your teenage memory. And of course, all of us had the Sylvester Stallone poster.
Not me.
Well, all the girls had it. This movie, like I said, is a spin-off, and he'll give you a little introduction to it, who's in it, who's starring in it.
Let's see who starred in this movie. It's the star character is an actor named Micheal B. Jordan. Really good young actor, very good actor. He looks the part. He's like really built and everything.
Yeah, he was really good. I've never seen him before.
Yeah.
Of course, these are all new stars now.
Of course, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
And there's a girl in it that plays the love interest of
cute girl, cute.
Micheal B. Jordan, and her name is Tessa Thompson.
Now you have to remember, this is a young cast now. In this movie, I was going to say spoiler alert. I don't know if it's too much of a spoiler alert, though. We already established in the other Rockies that Adrian had passed away. She's gone. Paulie now is gone. He passed away. Mickey passed away. I think
I feel bad that Paulie passed away, right?
And Mickey passed away like in what, 3, 4? No, 3.
3, yeah.
Apollo passed away in 4. Okay, so it's a new cast. It's a young guy, it's a young girl, and Sylvester Stallone is still, though, even though he's not the main star, he's still the Rock in the movie. Like that's
It's still you know it's a Rocky movie.
Yeah, like he's that sturdy character in the movie. Yeah. And the movie's about, obviously he's too old to box now. Still looks good for his age. Yeah. But look, I think so. Anyway, still looks good. But now he's training someone else, and we'll get into that, to box. And this is, you want to start it off how it begins?
Well, yeah, the whole premise of the movie is this kid, Micheal B. Jordan, he plays Adonis Creed. He's a kid that he was an illegitimate child of Apollo Creed. Apollo Creed had an affair, and Micheal B. Jordan was the result of Apollo Creed's affair. When the movie opens up, you see the kid is in trouble. He's fighting. He's in a reform school, and he's getting in trouble in a reform school.
I don't even think it was a reform school. It was like a juvie.
Yeah, it was a juvie.
Or
We used to
something.
call it reform school. It's a juvie, right?
And he's fighting, but he's a little kid, right? He's about
he's like maybe 12 or 13 years old. He's young, but I mean, he was fighting there. And so now you see Apollo Creed's wife, right? She comes to the juvenile hall with an oldest kid.
Is that, what's her name? Felicia Rashad?
Yeah, Felicia. I think it's Felicia Rashad.
She was on the Cosby Show, right?
Yeah, she was the mother on the Cosby Show.
Yeah, she plays a good part in this.
Yeah. Anyway, she goes to the juvenile hall. I guess she feels for this is weird because what wife is going to go and adopt the illegitimate son of one of her husband's affairs? You know what I mean?
You know what? I'll tell you.
It don't normally happen.
When I first heard the story, I said to myself, okay, this is a little ridiculous because her husband had an affair, and now there's a kid, and she decides to take him in.
Yeah.
But then I watched it and I said, you know what? I said to myself, why did they make it his real kid, this and that? But then I said, you know what? They're trying to make it realistic.
Right.
Things like this happen.
Yeah, but it's not that realistic that a woman's gonna go without the illegitimate son of a
it just showed you the character of her. It just established her character, and she just did a good deed. She felt bad for this kid who had nothing, no mother, no father, and she had so much money. Apollo Creed is gone already.
You see the house. The house is like it's like Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And you don't. I don't know why they should have showed Apollo's real kids. It's somewhere in there, but
they didn't want. I guess
they wanted to
take
focus on
attention.
Right. They wanted to focus on him.
Anyway, go on with
I actually saw this movie twice. The first time I saw it,
you saw it in the movies.
Right. The first time I saw it, I said, okay, it was okay. And I wasn't excited about it because I was expecting, this is another Rocky movie, I want to see Sylvester Stallone through the whole movie. He's got to be the main star, he's got to be... But then I watched it a second time.
You saw him through the whole movie.
Well, you know what I mean. He takes a sidestep.
Well, they actually shared the starring role.
Right. Then I watched it again, and I watched it. I took it at like face value. This is a movie about Creed. This is not a movie about.
Yeah, but if they would have tried to do the movie without Sylvester
Stallone.
No,
you need Sylvester Stallone. But I had a different outlook on it. Like the first time, I was like, oh, there's another Rocky movie. I can't wait to see it. But then now, after I see it again, I'm like, no. This is now about the next generation.
Well, yeah, of course. It's well, the last one before this was Rocky Balboa. The movie Rocky Balboa. I mean, that was really his crowning thing. Like that was
a good
finished.
One.
Yeah, it was good. He was finished
great.
with boxing. That's it.
I have to say one thing about the Rocky movies. No matter how exciting and everything they are, it still sometimes touches you. Like this sentimental part.
Yeah, always.
My favorite is Rocky 1 and then Rocky Balboa because that's when he's the underdog. He's beaten or he's the humble one. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Not only that, there's a lot of sad things in that movie. There's like,
but
we're not talking about Rocky Balboa. Let's talk about
we're saying how he got here. Everybody passed away. Everybody's gone. He works in his little restaurant that he has.
Yeah, he still has the same restaurant. He's got a restaurant for ladies.
He doesn't even want to train anymore. Right. But then he hears the kid's story.
Now the kid, let's tell him that the kid doesn't acknowledge Apollo Creed. See, as far as he was concerned, he had no father. He didn't even know Apollo Creed was his father. He had no idea. So when Apollo Creed's wife goes to this juvenile hall to pick this kid up, she tells him who his father is. And she says, your father didn't leave you. He died before you were born. So what happened was the kid kind of like resented Apollo Creed. He didn't want anything to do with him. Like he didn't want anything to do with his memory, with his name, nothing. He wanted to stand on his own. But
you know what? In its own way, that's kind of I don't know, sad, messed up or whatever, but that he got this woman pregnant and then he died, right? And then he died, and then the wife found afterwards. He didn't even have time to he didn't have time to make it right with his wife. He didn't have time to make it right with his new son. He didn't have time to make it right with anybody. That's pretty sad, right?
Yeah, that's sad, but whatever.
I mean, it's sad to a woman, a guy don't care, or whatever. I'm just saying, that part there was like, kind of like, wow, not only he didn't know him, he died before he was even born.
We're going to have to stop analyzing it because this thing will run for an hour.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, she takes the kid home and she raises the kid. Now it goes from you seeing him as a little kid in this juvenile hall to him being a grown-up, you know, like in
and he grows up nice.
20s.
He grows up really nice.
He's very smart, you know, college educated. Like she gave him a good life.
He's working like an investment.
Yeah, she raised him the right way, like a Wall Street place. You know, he was working in an office. So what happened was what the hell was that?
I think it's a mother.
Some kind of thunder or bombs or something's going off out there. I don't know. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's pretty loud. Anyway, he grows up nice. He's got a job in a firm, and apparently he just got a promotion. So they hand him the promotion, and then in the interim, what happens is they show you that he's been fighting. He's been boxing, but he's been going across the border to Tijuana, Mexico, and fighting in Tijuana.
I got the impression that he had like a lot of anger in him, so he was boxing.
Well, not really that he had a lot of anger. See, he knew Apollo Creed was his father. It must have set in him that, you know, with the boxing and everything, and he
the thought was planted in his head.
Subconsciously he wanted to be like his father.
Because she grew him up very well, and he went to school, he was educated.
Yeah, very clean cut, you know, very well spoken.
And he got a promotion, and he quit to go to become a boxer.
So he quits his job, and he tells the mother, I'm going to go become a boxer. I'm going to move to Philadelphia and I'm going to become a boxer. So she wants to have nothing to do with that. She says, if you do that, she says, don't, lose my number. Don't call me, don't contact me. I don't want to know nothing about it. You're leaving your job, you're going to become a boxer. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. So he packs up his stuff and he leaves. He goes to Philadelphia. Now he looks up Rocky Balboa, right? Because he knows, he's the only guy that he's got a shot with of training him. Because he has no formal boxing training. The kid's like, he's taught himself.
I think he wanted to find him in a way.
Well, yeah, I guess
he was so interested. Right, he watched the old tapes.
To the memory of his father,
and he knew that they were close, even though they fought each other. He knew at the end they became good friends.
He was going to YouTube and watching the videos of his father's fights with Rocky. So, he was interested, but he denied it. Like, he didn't want anybody to know that he actually cared about his father's memory and his legacy. So what happened was he goes to Philadelphia to find Rocky, and then...
Right, he goes to find Rocky, and Sylvester Stallone does not want to train him at first. And he says, you seem like you're educated. I can tell by talking to you that you're educated. Why would you want to fight? He made him feel that you don't have to go this route. You're smart. You have a good job.
I used to try to tell him like a fighter's life is not a good life.
It's not It's not a glamorous life.
Yeah.
You can get hurt. And he's telling him, I guess, from his experience. And okay, so now he wants him to train him. He doesn't want to train him. He actually goes back to whose gym was it?
He's standoffish like Sylvester Stallone because he's like leery of getting back involved in boxing and stuff like that.
Well, do we know about the health issues yet or not yet?
Well, no, that didn't come up yet.
I don't think he was feeling so great yet either in the beginning.
Well, he was feeling his age. You guys got to be in his 70s.
Yeah, they really played up that part.
Right.
They really played up the part that he's older now. Like he was an old 70, like just the way he walked and the way he talked in his everyday life.
I think they did that on purpose because they wanted the kid to be the strong figure in the movie.
They didn't want any of it to resemble the old Rocky. Right. So he first goes to one of the gyms, I think his father's gym, and the guy didn't want to train him or something. What happened?
He goes to...
Not that he didn't want to train him.
No, this was in...
Yeah,
was it in Philadelphia or California?
It said Apollo on the door.
Yeah, but was that in Philadelphia? No, that was still in California.
No, it wasn't, because he goes, where are you from? And he calls him Mr. Hollywood. That nasty guy in the gym didn't want to train him. Oh, that's in Mickey's gym. Right. There's a couple of gyms in there. He goes to
First he goes to the gym in LA where his father trained.
Yeah,
the gym where his father was involved, and the guy doesn't want to give him a shot.
Right.
But he says he goes in the ring, he jumps in the ring while these guys are training. And he holds up his car keys. He says, I got a brand new Mustang outside. He says, anybody can hit me in the face, the car is yours.
Yeah.
So he winds up knocking out one guy, and then this fighter comes in that's a ranked contender.
Right, a professional, right?
And it goes on next. He gets in the ring and he smacks him around, he knocks him down, and that was it.
Oh, I felt bad for him.
Right, so he took, right then and there, he knew I got to do something. I got to be trained. I can't do this on my own. So
you know
then he heads to Philly.
You know what it is? He had the mindset. His mind was determined and strong. I can do this, but he needed to be trained. He wasn't.
What I just said.
Okay, go ahead. I don't know.
That's what I just said.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, he gets in his head, now I got to be trained. So now he goes to Philly, right? He goes and contacts Rocky. Rocky don't want to have nothing to do with it. So the kid goes, he tells Rocky, he says, I'm going to be at Mickey's gym tomorrow. I'm going to go over there. If you want to come over, I'll be there.
And now if you remember, that was the gym that Rocky trained at.
Right. So he goes in the gym. Now there's this other neighborhood guy, supposedly, Rocky's friend that grew up with him, that's running the gym now. And he's got a son that's a boxer, that's a contender for light heavyweight. So he's concentrating on the son. So this kid goes in, Creed goes in and he tells him, I want to box, can you train in it? So the guy said, listen, I'll tell you what I'll do for you. I'll give you a couple of drills to do there, but I'm concentrating on my son right now. He's going to get a title fight, and I don't have the time to train you, but you can use the gym.
This guy was not, they were establishing that this guy was only out for himself.
Yeah, he was like, that's it.
They set that up for you.
This guy, he was like, he was like one of those guys, like, I'm taking care of my son. I'll do whatever I need to do to make him win. I don't give a shit about you, and that's it. So anyway, he goes down. So anyway, she's kneeing me because I said.
All right. Next.
So anyway, He's training himself now, but he goes back to see Rocky. And he goes, Rocky's unloading the van like for the stuff for the restaurant, like boxes and stuff like that. And the kid walks right in and says, look at him, starts taking the boxes and
I actually feel bad for Sylvester Stallone. I just want to just put a little input on there. He's like very down and out. I mean, all the movies you would think he would have all this money like Apollo Creed's wife, but he doesn't.
It's like he's almost like he's broke.
Yeah, he's back where he started. He's back in Philly.
He's back in one of like almost the same apartment that he lived in
not
Rocky
such a great neighborhood. They established later that Paulie was living with him. He has the restaurant, but they don't really focus too much this time on the restaurant. There was nobody in. He was closing when he was leaving. Very downtrodden. Very like.
Well, not downtrodden. He was living like he was alone.
He was just existing.
Everybody was gone. His son moved somewhere up in Canada or something.
He didn't have the relationship with his son that he really wanted.
Paulie was dead. Adrian was dead.
You have to say it like that?
Mickey was dead. All his friends were dead.
They all passed away.
Right, so he was alone. So, he was alone. He had the restaurant.
Just like going on, existing. Right, basically.
So anyway, now he takes a liking to this kid because he knows it's Apollo Creed's son, and he feels a connection with him. So he says to the kid said, listen, you don't have to train me. Just give me a few exercises to do, and this way you can help me get started. I don't know what to do on my own. So Rocky says, all right, I'll give you a few things and, we'll see how it goes, and you do these few things, but I'm not training you. So the kid says, all right, man. The kid started calling him Unc.
That was so cute. I was just going to say, the kid was cute. Like, he tried to...
Oh, by the way, so...
He tried to get a connection with him. I guess because he really never had a family, he tried to get a connection with him. He would call him Unc. And, does he even say the word family in it?
He said to him, he says, now that we're family,
like
he asked him about
He tries to connect. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He asked him about the fight at the end of Rocky 2. Remember, Rocky 3 rather. Apollo Creed says to Rocky, you're going to owe me a favor when this is over. And at the end of the movie, they're in a room, in a ring, alone, and they have another fight. And the movie ends with Dave, and they're like this, and the movie ends. So when the kid goes to see Rocky for the first time, he sees him in the restaurant, he sees a picture. And he said, he says, oh, you know what? He says, I know there was a third fight that nobody knew about. Who won that fight? You know what I mean? So Rocky looks, he says, how do you know all this? But the kid has explained to him who he was and everything. But after that, at going out, he says, listen, we're family. I consider us to be family, so you can tell me who won the third fight. So Rocky says, your father did.
And I'll be honest with you, either way, I think he would have said your father won.
Right, exactly.
Whether he won or not, I think because that's just the kind of guy that Rocky is. And but the kid was good. The kid was a humble guy, even though when he was...
but tell me about the movie. We already established that the kid was good, the kids are good.
Go ahead, you're good at that. What are we up to now?
Well, we were up to the part where the kid goes back to the gym and Rocky goes to the gym now.
Okay. I don't remember exact, but the thing was now Rocky is going to train him. And the kid wants to fight under his name, I think it was Johnson.
Yeah, it was his mother's name.
Right, he wants to fight under his mother's maiden name.
Right, they don't want to fight under Creed because the kid wants to make it on his own.
He wants to make a name for himself. He doesn't want everybody to go see him because, it's Creed's son, we got to go see him. He didn't want to make money off the father. He wanted to be his own person, his own fighter. Of course, there's always one sneaky character, the guy in the gym that was worried about his son.
Yeah, the guy that ran Mickey's gym now.
Wanted to set up a fight between his son and the son and him. So what happened was...
And Creed, because he figured that the kid was a pushover.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, he wasn't experienced, he figured. So now what happened...
Rocky's been training him now. Now Rocky decides to go and he said to the kid, I'm going to train. He goes to Mickey's gym. And he says to the kid, I'll train you.
And the kid's in shape.
Right. You're going to have to do what I tell you to do, and we're going to do it my way. And the kid said, okay.
And the funny part is, I don't know if you remember in Rocky 1, Mickey had all these old school ways of training, and he wanted Sylvester Stallone to be quick in the ring, so he had all these chickens outside, and he made Rocky try to catch the chicken, and Rocky couldn't, for the longest time, he couldn't catch the chicken. So he does the same thing with Creed, and Creed winds up catching the chicken.
Yeah, but it took him a while.
Well, it took him a while, but he did it, but I thought it was cute the way they did that. But anyway, he trains him. And now, of course, the sneaky guy in the other gym who sets up the fight, right?
He sets it up between his son and Creed because he figures the kid's a pushover.
He not accidentally, he purposely lets it out that this
Well,
is his son.
he grabs Rocky on the side. He says, listen,
I found
made a
out.
few calls. I found out that this is Apollo Creed's son.
Right, this is Creed.
So Rocky says to him, listen, the kid wants to make it on his
Right,
own.
he wants to do it under...
Do me a favor, don't say nothing, keep it under your hat. So the guy says, oh yeah, no problem.
He was so sleazy, right? He was so sleazy.
So now the kid, Creed winds up beating the guy's son, winds up knocking him out, and wins the fight. So now the next morning, they're having breakfast in Rocky's house, and the girl...
Oh, in the meantime, he has a girlfriend.
In the meantime, he met this girl, right?
Things going
We
on.
forgot all about that. He met the girl, lived downstairs from the apartment he had.
Becomes his girlfriend.
Right, she becomes his girlfriend.
Right.
They're in Rocky's house eating breakfast, and the girl's on the phone, and she's looking up things about the fight the night before, and she sees a news report that he's Apollo Creed's son. The guy had let it out, the other guy.
He purposely let it out.
Because he was mad because his kid lost the fight. Kid turned out to be a punk. He lost the fight.
Is that how it happened?
Well, they didn't show you that part, but he was probably annoyed.
The kid wasn't that bad. It was the father that was horrible.
Oh, you know what?
He was so crazy.
You know what I just thought of? You know what I just thought of? I bet you the kid's father let the news out because he figured his kid got beat by a nobody, but now the nobody turns out to be Apollo Creed's son. So now he got beat by Apollo Creed's son. It's not as bad as if he got beat by a kid that's only got one fight under his belt. You know what I mean?
So maybe.
That sounds logical.
Yeah, maybe.
So anyway, it's out now. He's Apollo Creed's kid. It's out. That's it. So he says, I don't care. I'm not fighting under the name Creed. I'm going to do it under I'm going to do it myself. I don't want to ride my father's coattails. I'm going to do it myself. So now they start training. They're training and training. Like he says, what are we going to do next? And they keep training. And now comes into the picture, the world light heavyweight champion is a guy named Conlon.
Oh, he's awful.
What was his name? Pretty Ricky Conlon?
Pretty face.
Pretty Ricky Conlon. He was an English guy from London.
He looked like a criminal.
Yeah,
actually, he had charges against him.
Yeah. He was facing some gun charges in England. Anyway,
he was horrible. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, I know. You sounded good.
He was the light heavyweight champion. So now he's supposed to fight the #1 contender from the United States, and at the weigh-in, they get into a little scuffle at the weigh-in, and this guy Conlon hits the contender and breaks his jaw at the weigh-in. So now the guy's suing him, he can't fight against him, so now they need another guy to step in. So of course, just like in the Rocky movie with Apollo Creed, something happened to the contender, and they said, we're going to give some unknown guy a shot. That was Rocky. But in this movie, the English guys, the champion's manager, said, listen.
Well, he wanted to make money.
He says, you see this kid here?
He wanted to make money. He says, we'll use this kid because his name is Creed.
And we'll get him, we'll really play up his bout.
So smug. He's like, oh, he's nobody. Where did he fight? He didn't fight in this country. He had one match, big deal. Like, he thought he was too good to even fight him.
Right.
He didn't want to.
Well, that's it. He said, listen, you're
very nasty.
He says, most likely you're going to jail with that gun charge, so you better make some money now to take care of your kids.
Right, and also make money for them.
Right,
because they were mad that he got in trouble, that he was going to jail.
Right. So anyway, they go to Los Angeles. This manager goes to Los Angeles. He meets with Stallone and his kid Creed, and they set up the fight. So there's a little back and forth. Rocky don't want him to do it.
I don't remember.
No, they went to Philly. Rocky don't want him to do it, and the kid wants to do it, but he won't do it unless Rocky does it with him, and blah blah blah, goes back and forth.
Well, now this is where Sylvester Stallone comes in.
Well, so now they decide to do the fight. So Rocky sets up the fight. Now in the interim.
Okay, in the interim, there's a couple of side stories that we won't get into so much detail. Like, he does have a girlfriend who's actually trying to make it as a singer. She sings in the neighborhood.
Right.
Rocky has health issues. There's a lot of side stories. So here's where the side story with Rocky comes in. Rocky starts showing signs that he's very sick. He was...
Well, he's training the kid and he passes out.
He passes out, he was vomiting, he was showing signs that he was severely sick and nobody knew what was wrong.
Right.
So it turns out that he goes to the doctor, and it turns out that they found he has cancer. Okay, so now he's just given up on life because his wife is gone, and he kind of says it in a roundabout way that he's ready to go. His wife's not here anymore, and it's just an existence. But
so he's refusing to take any treatment.
He doesn't want to take chemo or any kind of treatment for the cancer.
Right.
Now, Creed And this was what's really...
Now, in the meantime, they built up a love for each other, these two.
Yeah, and he really was concerned. It wasn't just that he wanted him to get better so he could train him.
Right.
He was very attached to Sylvester Stallone. And he's like, no, I'll take you. You're going for treatment. You're going to fight this. You can do it. And he was mad that he wasn't going to do it. So he says in a roundabout, no, he says it outright. He says, if you don't fight, I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight hard to win this. I'm not going to train. I'm not going to fight hard to win if you don't fight for your life. So now,
they agree, right?
They agree,
okay, you fight, I'll fight.
And he stays with him. It was really, emotional.
Yeah, the kid went with him to get his chemo,
right.
And you can see the kid carrying him to the bathroom.
What I liked about the movie is they gave this boxer, not that boxers don't have heart, but they gave this fighter a lot of character, a lot of heart, a lot of compassion.
Right.
The other two fighters in this were just looked like street thugs. They were out for themselves. The other guy was getting arrested like this.
Well, that's the movie. I mean, they have to make you hate the guy who's going to fight.
No, of course, but they just showed a side of him that he cared about other people than just being a champion,
right.
Right. And that's what made me really like the movie. And okay, so now here we are. He's going for treatment, and he's very sick, and he's training for the fight. You want to take it from there? Where was the fight? Oh, in England.
Yeah, they had to go to England now to fight. So anyway, Rocky's training him all old school. I mean, you could see the kid's doing he's doing all type of training, like he's doing one-arm push-ups, and he's skipping rope the old-fashioned way, and he's doing Rocky trained him like a real old-fashioned.
And I think they even stick in that Rocky music as he's training.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Right at the end, when he starts to get good, they put that Rocky.
It reminds you, you never lose sight of the fact that it's a Rocky movie.
Right, don't you get that feeling? Yeah. They play that Rocky music. And
so anyway, the kid, it's all set now. So now they fly to England, right? So they get to England and they bring the girl. Oh no, the girl wasn't with them.
He surprises, right?
Well, the girl, matter of fact, she broke up with him because she was mad that he had lied about being a Creed or whatever. And she was at this big show. It was her big chance. She was opening up for another group,
right? She wasn't a famous star.
No, but she was opening up in this big venue.
Okay, go ahead. I'm just saying it was in the neighborhood. She was trying to make something of herself. Right. This was the whole point.
So she gets a shot to open up for this big group.
This was her shot.
In a big area, in a big venue where they got, a lot of people are going to be there. And he goes to see her, the kid. So now the band that's opening up is this rap band, and it was all the guys were all thugs and everything. And
he just had a fight. No, he had a fight with
he had a fight with Rocky, right? He had an argument with Rocky about not taking the treatment or whatever, so he was annoyed at his
got a little upset,
right.
Yeah.
So now he goes to see her, and this guy says, hey, Baby Creed. He's calling him Baby Creed. So he takes a picture with him, and then he's walking away, and he says, all right, take care, Baby Creed. And he said, listen, don't call me that. He said, well, don't call you what? He said, don't call me Baby Creed. And he says, well, I'm trying to show you love. What's wrong with you? You got an attitude in it. So he says, he goes, be careful, I'll put you where your father is. Right? So now Creed turns around, he hits him with a right, boom, down he goes. Right? So now you see the next scene, fades out, fades back, Creed sitting in jail. Right? So Rocky, of course, goes to see him.
So this is where the girlfriend gets upset.
Right, so now she don't want to have nothing to do with him.
Right, this was her opening night, and he came in, and this happened. She says, how about if I came to your fight?
And started a big ruckus, right.
So this is where we're at.
So he tries to apologize, everything. She's not having it. She slams the door in his face, and that's it. So now they take off, they go to England. So now he's in England, and they meet, they go to the weigh-in. And of course, him and this English champion get in an argument at the weigh-in. They got to hold them back.
And Rocky warns him. Rocky said he's going to be prepared to fight as soon as he comes in.
Just be quiet because he's going to come. He said, hold yourself.
They all do that.
Right, but he couldn't do it. He jumped. They were going to fight right there.
But he was nice. It was the other guy.
They stopped him. Anyway, he goes back to the hotel room. Now he's starting to think. He's a little worried. He's starting to get a little nervous. And Rocky comes in, and Rocky's looking at the door, right? So the kid says to him, what do you keep looking at the door for? He says, I'm not looking at the door, so now the door is a knock on the door, right? So he says, oh, gee, I wonder who that is. Why don't you answer that? So the kid goes, yeah, who could this be at this hour? It was 2 o'clock in the morning. So he goes, he opens the door, boom, it's the girl, right? So he gets a big smile on his face.
It was nice, he had people there to support.
Right, so now the girl's there with them. So now now they go right to the fight. The next scene is the fight. Alright, so you take care of the fight a little bit.
You give me the fight part? I don't want to do the fight part. You do the fight part, I'll do the closing. Alright, of course the fight fight is very exciting. He goes in there, he's fighting the champ. Of course, he can't go in there and just knock out the champ. You know, it's a typical Rocky movie. He's getting hit, and you're like, oh no, we fight back, and you're rooting
By the
for
first
him.
10 seconds of the first round, he's knocked out.
Yeah, it's kind of like all the Rockies, but that's what makes you love it. He's the underdog, and he's getting hit, and we're all watching it.
So anyway, I'm sure everybody saw this movie.
Yeah.
Well, not everybody.
If you didn't,
well, I want to do a spoiler alert, right? So if you didn't see it,
all right, they're gonna tune out if they didn't.
Well, you know what? Let's do this.
They probably saw it.
Even if they don't get in, I'm not going to tell you who wins, but it's a Rocky outcome.
It's
okay?
Yeah.
It's a Rocky, it's a typical Rocky outcome.
You're rooting for him. You're rooting for the kid, just like you did with Rocky. And you're like, no, watch, you know, like you want to watch out, hit him, like you want.
Don't expect them to win, but don't expect them to lose.
Even if you. Are you going to tell the ending?
Well, no, I'm just saying. It's a typical Rocky movie ending.
I do not.
Where at the end of the movie you go, come on, hit him, we go right, give him right, give him left. We watched it again, and my daughter was present. Well, you know, she had come in the middle of us watching. She came in the fight scene, and she's standing behind us, and she's going, come on, Rock, come on, hit him, Creed, hit him. You know, so. It was a typical Rocky movie.
It sucks you in, sucks you in, and you're rooting for him, and you have all these emotions going on.
You're gonna like the ending.
Yeah, and it's a good movie. It's a fun movie.
It's a great movie. But
yeah.
The reason we did this movie is because now Creed 2 is due to come out November 24th. Okay, so we're definitely go to movies and see it. We're gonna see it on a big screen, but. That's why we figured let's do Creed. We'll give everybody a little shot of the first one. Now they can
you're right. The second one.
Right,
sure
then we'll expect them to say, or they can watch the first one and then go see the second one.
I'll be honest with you, I don't like boxing. I don't like that ultimate fighting. I don't like wrestling. I don't like any contact.
I used to like wrestling.
Yeah, back in the day with Hulk Hogan, and it was more fun than.
You know what though? Let me tell you something.
But you know what? You don't have to like boxing. You can hate boxing.
Right, it's a good movie. Yeah. The Creed 2 is going to be good because you see, Sylvester Stallone, he's a smart guy, boy. This Creed was number 7 in the Rocky series, right?
Was it 7?
Yeah, it goes off of Rocky Balboa was number 6.
I don't know. I don't know the exact number.
Creed, I'm pretty sure, almost 99%.
I don't know. There's so many, but maybe. Okay.
Anyway,
there's a lot of them.
it's the next one in the Rocky series is this one, Creed. Now you got another one coming up. Now it's actually started its own series. I think this Creed is going to be another series that's going to go.
You could go on a long time with Creed. You could
very smart, Sylvester Stallone. He picked a premise for Creed 2 where Apollo Creed's son, this kid, Adonis Creed, he's going to fight Ivan Drago's son in the movie.
Right, from
and
Rocky
Ivan Drago was Rocky IV, was the fighter from Russia, if you remember, that killed Apollo Creed in the ring. So now it's not just a championship fight, now it's a grudge match.
Yeah.
Now it's a revenge thing, it's this, it's
There's
that.
There's probably a lot of movies that
This movie's going to hit on a lot of different things.
And they got the perfect actor. What's his name?
Dolph Lundgren?
No, the kid.
Oh yeah, Michael B. Jordan?
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, he's a perfect actor for this.
Good actor.
Go see Creed, watch Creed 1, go see Creed 2. As soon as it comes out, we're going to go see it, and immediately we're going to do it for you.
Let me just say at the end of the movie, this ain't really a spoiler alert, but at the end of the movie, Creed and Rocky are walking up the stairs in Philadelphia, the one where he ran and they had
the iconic thing where he runs up the stairs, they got his statue.
Kids are running with him. And
they took the statue down, it's not there anymore.
But they go at the end, they go up the stairs, and he's old and he can't make it, and Creed's go, come on, you can do it, you can make it. And it was like sentimental, it was good.
He made it to the top,
I think you guys will love it. If you didn't watch it already, watch it.
Yeah, very good movie.
If you did watch it, I would watch it again right before you go see the other one. So it's fresh in your head.
Right.
And hope you enjoyed the show. Right?
So what
we're still going.
No, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go see. We watched Creed 1 now. As soon as Creed 2 comes out, we're gonna go see that. We'll do that one for you. Okay, and I'm sure
next week's our Thanksgiving show.
Right, next week's our Thanksgiving show. We're going to do another comparison movie for Thanksgiving. It's going to be King Kong 1933 versus King Kong 2000. What was it? 2005, I think.
The one with Jack Black.
2005?
I don't know. The one before Skull Island.
Right. Anyway, we're going to do the comparison of those two. I know you might say, hey, you just did a comparison monkey movie, but we're going to do it.
It's totally different.
Well, we're going to do these
It's
because
totally
when we were kids, I remember always on Thanksgiving, they either played King Kong,
Yeah, we
Mighty
told
Joe,
them
you know,
that.
right, yeah, so we thought of that, so that's what that's the one we're going to do next.
But after that, we're going to do
Thanksgiving.
another Creed. We're going to do the new Creed.
We'll do the new Creed the week after, yeah.
Great.
Listen, these videos been running a little long, so we're trying to cut back on the time a little bit. I don't know how good we did today, because I don't
We just talk too much, that's what
Right.
it is.
Well, you talk too much.
Right.
Anyway, we both like this movie. Both give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Check it out. And thanks for coming by.
Thanks again. Thanks
Right.
for watching.
Thanks for watching.
I'm Mel.
Take it easy.
Oh.
I'm not done yet.
I'm sorry.
We're going to
See,
jump
still
in.
wants to
What do you
talk.
got? The macaroni's boiling over. What's going on?
Go ahead.
Anyway, thanks for coming by. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. And come over, check us out. If you hit the subscribe button, hit that notification button, and you'll know, as soon as our videos come out, in case you forget to take a look. And we appreciate all your support. We love you. You're part of our
Thank
family.
you again.
Right. Thanks for coming to our home. You're welcome anytime. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
All right. Be well. Take
Thanks.
care. Bye-bye.